Hi everyone. So this time on an expert's guide to Path of Exile, we're going to continue our journey. We've ground out the ledge. We've got some great levels and some great equipment. So let's finally head to the prison. So that's going to be up here. We'll teleport up to the climb where we left off. And I'm guessing the entrance is usually at the top, but we don't know exactly where. It varies. Okay, dashing around, cleave.
I can't do this just yet.
Okay. There's a flag from another player that had traveled through here. Okay. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, and there's a little skeleton guy up there that shoots poison arrows. But we will attack him with some cleaves. And there he goes. Alright, that's it. Now, eventually on this character, I am going to transition to using a shield. I'm currently dual wielding, but the shield will give us some nice protection, and it's especially good on the gladiator. He can block, which is a sort of subclass of this character that we're going to eventually get into. But that won't be for a while. But I will switch to the shield relatively soon. Okay, and here's a fawn. Oh, boy. So this is a reference to the novel Fawn and Games, which some of you may have read. I have not. We're going to take him out, or she, sorry. Let's see here. All right, so he's down, and he even dropped one of his horns, goat's horn. Pick up a sword. I'll level up my gems that I can. Some of these I can't yet. All right, let's switch to the passive tree, and I'm going to come over here and take this Master of the Arena passive. That regenerates 1% of my life per second, gives me 10% increased melee damage, some more range on my attack, and some strength, which is nice. That'll allow me, now that I have the prerequisite stats, to level up those 3 gems. So the reason I couldn't do that before was because I didn't have high enough strength. That won't be a problem on this character. Usually they'll have a good amount of strength and dexterity. So you usually won't have trouble equipping items that require such things. All right, so we've entered the lower prison.
It's the cage fight then.
First order of business is to find the waypoint. And look, we got lucky. That's so early on. Okay, so we stumbled upon it. That's wonderful. Our job is to kill the warden of the prison. But we're not going to do that yet. We're going to take care of some other quests that we skipped. So first head back to the submerged passage. We were here before. This is the zone prior to the ledge. And we're going to go back through, and now we can kill these squids pretty easily, because our cleave is very powerful. But we're going to go a different way. So we're not going to end up at the ledge this time, but rather we are going to look for a giant enemy crab that is dwelling in the depths. Okay, see, okay. Yeah, barely strong enough to stand a chance against... Okay, we killed that squid queen. Earlier, that would have been a suicide mission, but we're now strong enough to do it, which is nice. So we can see we got our orange exit showing on the minimap. This is the entrance to the flooded depths, and this is where that crab is. We want to kill him for Tarkley. So the story behind this is, I mean, it's a little dark, so you may not want to listen. But if you want to know the story, when Tarkley was a kid, he used to play on the beach at which we started, so the Twilight Strand. And, you know, he was exiled with his family, so, you know, he didn't have much, but at least he had the beach. He could hang out there. But he got attacked by a particularly aggressive crab, and it was traumatic for him, obviously, with the pinchers and pincers that they have. So that is something that's always stayed with him. Now that crab ended up moving to this submerged passage and then further down even to the flooded depths, which is where we are now. So he wants us, even though he hasn't asked yet, he wants us to kill this crab for him, to try and help him heal from that childhood trauma. So that's bad stuff, but we're going to do him that favor. We can't change the past, but at least we can make it right by ending the crab that used to torment him on the beach when he was a child. This comes from the lore. Oh, there it is. You can see. Yep. Just a cameo. Can't fight him yet, but he's taunting us. So, yeah, this the story. Oh, there it is. The crab. Okay, Dweller of the Deep. Okay, yeah. This is not... This is a tough fight, but you can do it if you put your mind to it. Okay, we got him. That was fortunate. Dropped a couple rare items. You better pick those up. And now we head back to town. So I'm down to just 2 portal scrolls. They're pretty rare, but it's just useful to have them. Another option is to log out and then log back in. You'll be in town, but that's kind of cheating. We're not going to do that. We'll use our scrolls. And we'll go to Tarkley. And he's very happy that we killed that crab. In fact, he gives us this giant book that if we right-click upon, gives us a skill point. Now, if you want to learn more about the story of this crab, you can read some of the lore here in these entries. We're not going to do that right now, but I do highly recommend it. It's good to know what you're fighting and why. Check the notice board to see what other people are up to. Okay, there are no other players in the game. That's fine. Talk to Nessa. She has something. She talks about Brutus and gives us another skill gem, which is very useful indeed. So I'm going to take Name. And that's a support gem. I'm going to put it in with my Cleave. So now Cleave is supported by 2 skills, Chance to Bleed and Maim, both of which make the attack stronger and give it some extra effects. So that's how the game works. Let's see here. Yeah, that's a decent sword. I will hold on to it for now. Oh, and here's a rare hat. It's better than what I got, which is just a normal rarity. And that's good for now. So I'm going to sell the rest of this stuff. I don't need it. It's some garbage. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to have to make some decisions now. In the skill tree, I could go a few ways. So, for example, this wheel down here is damage with 2-handed weapons. This is damage when you're holding a shield. So I'm eventually going to go with the shield. I'm not holding one yet, but I'm going to start working down this path. So we'll switch over to a shield fairly soon. In fact, we'll take a look now and see if Tarkley's selling anything. He's got that shield there. That's pretty good. So in fact, we'll put an orb on it. All right, now I'm going to equip that. That gives me a chance to block incoming attacks. And in fact, let's magic up our Jade Hatchet. I got a little lightning damage. Turned out that wasn't a very good roll, but it's worth a try. And I'm going to sell my axe then to him. So, okay, I now got a shield equipped. We have a few more quests to do in the area. So we're going to head to this, excuse me, not the submerged passage. We're going to head to the coast. Now, this is a side quest that pirate guy back in town, I forget his name, gave us to take care of. So we're going to go do him that favor, just as we helped Tarkley. Okay, so I lost my dash. Yeah, that's inconvenient. I don't have a green socket right now for my dash skill. We'll just do without that. It's not a big deal. But here we're at the Tidal Island. This is a pretty low level zone. On the top right you can see it's level 3. I am currently level 11. So this is also a decent leveling option if you want to raise your character level quickly. You can kill the enemies here very quick. Look how fast they're going down. But we're not going to do that right now. That's just not the plan. place is inhabited by cannibals. And there's going to be a crazy ice guy up here who is very angry, but he's guarding a shipwreck for some reason. And what the pirate guy needs us to get is from the ship. In fact, this was the ship that the pirate guy was on. Okay. So this guy's name is Hailrake. Yeah, you know, he's a bit of a weakling, but see, he drops a medicine chest. We're going to grab that. Portal scroll, 2 of them, in fact, useful. And I don't want to use the portal scroll right now because this is a pretty small zone, and the portal scrolls are so precious, you don't want to waste them. So we're just going to walk or run back to the waypoint that was just outside of this island and use that to port back to town and talk to the pirate guy and see if he's happy about the medicine chest. So I'm not quite sure what he had in there, but we can speculate pretty plausibly about what it might be. Okay, so we take that down. Head back to Lion Eye's Watch. So actually we talked to Nessa here. She's happy that we got the medical supplies. And what you want to do is take this Quicksilver Flask. So that increases your movement speed. She also gives you another choice of skill gems. And in our case, I think we're going to take Ruthless. But we don't have anything to connect that to at the moment. But it's worth putting in a slot just to level it up passively as you play the game. So put the Quicksilver Flask on your bar, and I'll show you how that works. Vestal's happy that you did what you did. Notice board. Okay, still nobody's playing. Okay, so that's a good start. There is one more side quest that we could do in Act 1, but it's not necessary. So we are going to skip that, but if you want, you can do this quest called A Dirty Job. So that has something to do with a necromancer and a pool or something. I don't really like it too much, so we're going to skip it. You don't get any important rewards from that. We're going to come back next time and take on the prison. So I will see you then, and I hope you learned a lot. Have a good one.